Once you have an understanding of that pain, of that thing that happened to you, of what it means to you, and how, most importantly, how it finds its way into your everyday life. Once you are more self-aware and therefore more in self-control, you can start looking at, okay, I really know that feeling. I really know that world of that problem. I know that problem deeply. What can I do to solve it? And in that way, our pain becomes our innovation. So I'll put in a piece here where I talk about on Expresso about, do I think that Africa has got a lot of innovation? And it's true, because we are so connected to what it is that we need, because we know what we didn't get. So now we can find new solutions. We can bring our boundless creativity. Just so if anyone has got any kind of doubts, as Africans, we are very, very, very capable and creative, by the way. You might not know about it. The press doesn't talk about it. We are endlessly capable. If this is what we can engage with, if we can find the solutions to, there's a guy who invented dry bath. He realized that the amount of time that it takes to, I wanted to put in a thing here where you can see it. The guy realized that the amount of time that it takes for people to find water to be able to wash themselves was impractical. So he created a solution that's cheap and affordable for people to actually wash themselves. And that could only happen in Africa. Why? Because we know our pain points. We know what we need. And we get to use our creativity once we accept our pain points to be able to build solutions. You first have to accept the truth of the matter. You have to accept that it's just a part of the story, and then you can look at, right, now that I've accepted it and I don't have an emotional attachment to it that's negative, right? Because that guy who did dry bath, he so easily could have gone, oh, well, I'm just going to be angry about this. I'm just going to sit here, and if someone else doesn't solve the problem, I'm just going to be angry. He accepted that that is the way in which things are, and he found a solution. That is all problem solving. And that's innovation. The thing that makes Africa so exciting is that our pain points are so basic compared to the rest of the world, compared to second world and first world countries. We worry about water here. The Western Cape, we almost didn't have water, running water out a tap. The amount of innovation that happened in that little window of time where suddenly we had to find solutions. Our basic needs were not being met, so we found a solution. And when we find these basic solutions, the level of innovation is so incredible that it can have a global impact. Because once you solve a basic problem, that helps almost everyone. That is why Africa is boundless in their innovation. I think the beautiful thing is that once you know what your pain point is, the thing that educates your experience of what it is that you want, your initial suffering, the thing that took away your innocence. We all have that story, so to talk about it should be absolutely normal. Once we know that piece of ourselves, we get to weave it into the fabric of our lives in a way that is so potent, that is so beautiful and important, that is so powerful, because it comes from such a raw, emotional, real place inside of us. The shape that our life takes after we accept that part of our story, that part of the history that we have, once we can incorporate it into the everyday part of our lives, it is not only a sense of catharsis, where it's this relief of engaging with it in a way that is useful, that doesn't make you feel powerless or negative or angry. And you get to do what I'm doing right now, which is talking about the stuff that really matters to you. You get to build things, you get to share things, you get to create a world where that one thing that happened to you that you never want anyone else to experience, you get to build that world. You get to invite other people into a world that never has to feel that way again, because you felt it for them. You suffered enough for them. And now you get to find ways, and it could be small ways, to bring people into a world where that is something that gets focused on. That's something that really matters. So, I mean, one of the things might be, say there is a 35-year-old man who lost his younger brother when he was 16, and he's in a position now where him and his friends can be big brothers to some kids in need, where they can know what it's like to have a big brother, and that 35-year-old man can be a big brother to them in a way in which he always wanted to be for his little brother who he lost. That's real. That's what brings people together, and that's what solves problems. When we can be honest about the things that we truly need and the things that happen to us that we wish never happened, that's where our power lies. That's where we can bring, that's where bridges are built. That is our pain is the place of beauty. It's the place of understanding. It's the place of, now I see you as a human being. You're not perfect and infallible. You're a living, breathing, three-dimensional, incredible person with a story. And the story wasn't always great. Now I see you. So that's what we all have. It is the one thing that binds us all together. So we can either use it or not.